G20 agrees to push ahead with rules on corporate tax targeting tech giants. Fukuoka, Japan. Reuters group of 20 finance ministers agreed to push ahead on compiling common rules that will close loopholes that global technology giants like Facebook use to reduce their corporate tax burden. Facebook, Google, Amazon, and other large tech companies have come under criticism for cutting their tax bills by booking profits in low-tax countries regardless of the location of the end customer, practices seen by many as unfair. The new rules mean higher tax burdens for large multinational firms, but will also make it more difficult for countries like Ireland to attract foreign direct investment with the promise of ultra-low corporate tax rates. Nguyen spoke at a panel on global taxation at G20 after the French and British finance ministers expressed sympathy with Nguyen's concerns that new tax rules do not discriminate against particular firms. Big internet companies say they follow tax rules but have paid little tax in Europe, typically by channeling sales via countries such as Ireland and Luxembourg, which have light-touch tax regimes. The G20's debate on changes to the tax code focus on two pillars that could be a double whammy for some companies. The first pillar is dividing up the rights to tax a company where its goods or services are sold, even if it does not have a physical presence in that country. If companies are still able to find a way to book profits in low tax or offshore havens, countries could then apply a global minimum tax rate to be agreed under the second pillar. Britain and France have been the most vocal about the need for a so-called digital. The US government has expressed concern in the past that the European push for a digital. However, Nguyen said on Saturday G20 countries should issue marching. Officials from major countries are expected to meet again twice this year to hammer out the finer details with the aim of finalizing an agreement next year. Earlier this year, countries and territories agreed a roadmap aimed at overhauling international tax rules, which have been overtaken by development of digital commerce. Reporting by Stanley White and Tetsushi Kajimoto. Editing by Kim.
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.